That's not bad. I'll review the footage and then I'll make my debrief assessment on that. I haven't done that exercise since like training, I don't think.
GoPro footage with a track log for unbelievable debriefing. Adding cameras to my flight bag has been the most dramatic thing that I've ever done with my flying, and it's totally helped me improve. My system is such that the cameras are prepped and ready to go before the flight, and then within 5 minutes pre-flight, they're rigged and rolling, and then I don't think about them again at all during the flight. I'm very proud to say they've never been a problem. However, today, recording the flight was a contributing factor in an error that I made.
Okay, so do I have half an hour from now before I need to be wheels down?
Yes, you do have half an hour.
All right, that's cool. I want to make sure I could log a 0.5.
Yeah.
The main issue was that I was facing a bit of a time crunch, so I was making some compromises pre-flight, but the recording of the flight was definitely a contributing factor here.
Well, traffic, Victor Papa Victor, Cessna 172. It's about 5 miles to the south at 2,100 feet. Going to join the mid-left downwind for runway 32 full stop.
We're departing an uncontrolled airport, and there's no one in the Unicom, so that's my excuse for not having done a radio check, which is the one step that I missed here. But for the previous leg, where Mayron was PIC, we had the same issue, but he found a solution. And on that note, this is actually the second part of a two-part series, so please watch the first one if you haven't seen it already, because there's some context that's important for this episode.
There's no one else around?
There's someone in the circuit, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, if I'd taken the time to ask traffic in the local area for a radio check, I would have realized that I wasn't transmitting because my headset was plugged into the backseat, which is where I wired things up for the previous leg just to make it easier and not have my intercom audio recording cable strewn across the cockpit. Now, for the previous leg, I didn't need to transmit, so it didn't even occur to me that it was an issue. The intercom was working fine for me from the other seat. So this is the one variable that changed, which basically makes Mayron's radio check moot, because when I press the push-to-talk button on the pilot's side, I'm going to be transmitting from a station that's not plugged in.
Just remind me that VPV is in the circuit here, right? I haven't heard any further calls from him.
We'll hear him again, no doubt.
Now, I'm kind of full of excuses here, but the Super Cub that I've been flying all season, it doesn't matter which station you're plugged into, each push-to-talk in the front or the back will transmit each guy, so that's part of the reason why I wasn't really thinking about where I was plugged in, but anyway, it's not awesome.
Perfect code. Alright, so where the hell is he? Should be like, he said he was joining downwind, didn't he? It's weird. Like, I want to make my call to say I'm going, but I expect some airplane to be on base by now. I don't know where he is.
Well, just ask for a position report, I guess.
And Guelph area traffic, VPV, where are you at?
VPV is from our home base, and it's weird that he's not answering.
Strange, man. I'm sure he said he was at
Yeah, he said Guelph.
We're on the frequency, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 123. We heard him.
Alright, well, I guess I'm going, right? I don't see him. Definitely nobody on final. And Guelph area
There he is. There he is, flying overhead the field now.
Well, traffic, Victor Papa Victor is over the field. Going to join the mid-left downwind for runway 32 full stop.
I guess he made the announcement he was going to do that. Alright.
Yeah.
And Guelph area traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel is about to take position on runway 32 for immediate departure. It'll be a right turnout.
Luckily, the airspace that we're flying through is basically Nordo land, where we're not dealing with ATC at all, so I get away with it. And the crazy thing is, I don't even notice it until after I review the flight. So this is a case where my debriefing process also helped me catch a pretty big mistake, and I'll never do it again. But the big takeaway for me here is that if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. But I didn't troubleshoot it. I'd like to think that if I was trying to get a hold of ATC and they weren't answering, I would have spent more time to figure it out, and I would have realized that my headset wasn't plugged into the pilot station. But anyway, I didn't. So the bottom line is, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, so troubleshoot it.
Okay, we're good.
Well, traffic, Victor Papa Victor is on the left downwind, runway 32 full stop.
Airspeed's live, temperature pressure's good.
Okay, I'm going to turn on iPad tracking.
Thank you.
And as I say in part 1, today we're taking turns doing some air work from one of my favorite flying books, The Killing Zone. There's a really cool section in that book that looks at all the different skills that pilots tend to lose over time. So Marin and I have picked a few exercises from that list, and we're going to work on them today.
Alright, so we're heading to that lake, right?
Yep.
At 3,000 feet. So when we get there, I'll do some slow flight, and then I'll do some S-turns over a road. Alright, set for 23 squared for cruise. Okay. So can we put this back on the practice area frequency to monitor on 2?
122.9.
And I guess I'll make my call to Guelph that I'm leaving. And Guelph area traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel is leaving the area to the southeast at 3,000 feet. Alright, so it's going to do a little lookout just to make sure you got that direction.
Yep. But you know what? It's so hard to catch planes that
Yeah, well, you do your best. Another thing about clearing turns, I suppose, is that you're essentially making yourself quite visible.
Yep.
So maybe that's a thing to consider.
Yep.
So we have power lines going through all these lovely fields, so we won't want to consider those as landing options.
That's right.
But there are a few good ones just on that side of the lake. So I'm going to put myself into slow flight and head that way.
Okay.
And part of the objective today to see how rusty we were was to do these exercises without any preparation.
Let's try to maintain 3,200 feet in slow flight. So I'm now slow enough to go full flying with the prop.
Mountain view glider off.
So what I'm going to do is add power as needed. So I'm going to stop climbing. I'm going to just pull this girl back. I'm going to lock those ailerons. Okay, so we're holding our altitude, dancing on the rudder. Let's try to get her as slow as I can. I think I'm like yanking on it. Wow, she's really doing all right.
Yep.
Come on, girl. Oh, yeah, 45. That's about as slow as I can get it.
I'll get one up a little closer, but you know.
Using both hands here. So we're losing her altitude, but so she's kind of stalled now. She doesn't aggressively stall. Yeah, so we're descending, so we are stalled, so I'll recover.
That's a workout.
Yeah.
My decision not to trim for slow flight was intentional. I wanted to have the airplane revert back to level flight if I was to let go of my inputs, since I was only planning to be in slow flight temporarily.
Alright, back into cruise. Yeah, that was good workout. Yeah. Definitely. She doesn't really drop the nose like a Cessna.
Yeah.
But she was stalled with the nose up, eh?
And dropping at 500 feet a minute.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so.
Mushing in.
Yeah. How's my time? 15 minutes?
15 minutes exactly.
Yeah. Alright, so the wind is coming from
340.
So I'm heading into the wind, basically.
Yeah.
I guess I'll use this. So this is the 401, right? Or
but you need a straight stretch of highway to make that work. But okay.
Yeah, well, it's close. That's kind of wiggly that side, but I'll go over to this part of it, and then I'll come back the other way if I remember correctly. And I guess don't correct me unless I'm doing something unsafe. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to fly over here. I'm going to use that stretch, which is pretty level. All right, so I'm going to leave her in cruise like 23 squared. All right, so I'm going to get myself turned around 180 to actually do the exercise, so I have a tailwind.
So debriefing this while editing, I confirmed I did have that right. You do start S-turns with a tailwind, but the mistake I was making here was I was doing them too high.
That might not have been far enough away from the road. Well, let's see if I can. It's almost like I'm starting now, but officially I want to be wings level. No, I want to begin my turn when I cross this road. Okay, so begin my turn now.
Dropping, here comes Charlie +1, 10 miles back to the west.
I started it too soon, I think. So I want to finish at 180 and be exactly, and I didn't look at my heading, which I guess I should have done. I'm going to try to be perpendicular to this road by the time I cross it.
So I guess the idea is to deal with pattern work and simulating wind drift, so you want to be doing them at 1,000 feet AGL or lower.
That looks good.
Sort of a bit soon, but not bad. And then you're going to smoothly go into the other direction. So I think in both cases I was starting my turn early, eh? So I'm way too close to the road right now. Because I have a tailwind right now.
So using ForeFlight track log, you can immediately debrief on the iPad, which is crazy. And you can bring the log into Cloudahoy on the computer where the segments are intelligently broken up, so you can isolate things. And in this case, you can see my second S was actually pretty good.
Okay, so I think we're far enough away now that I could probably do this better this time. And I'm going to make note of my heading.
Cloudahoy actually isolates flight segments. In this case, slow flight. You can see I got her down to 40 knots there, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, let's turn that off and get it out of the way just to look at the S-turn.
Okay, so heading is 150. Starting the exercise right about now.
So I'll let this second S-turn play out in real time.
This traffic, is that high traffic, or do you see it?
Yeah, it's no conflict. It's heading. It's 4 miles away.
All right.
Debriefing this VFR stuff is good fun using this awesome technology, but I cannot wait until I'm doing IFR stuff and able to look at myself on approach plates or whatever.
I've lost 100 feet. Come on, Steve. Let's get this. Okay, not bad. I'm reasonably good with that.
So stay tuned for some ridiculously detailed IFR debriefing videos.
Need to fly a little farther this time.
Yeah, that should do it.
Although I may have gone a little too far. Kind of cheated. So I think the idea is that you just adjust your bank angle as opposed to flying straight for longer. But anyway, yeah, so I'm needing to turn really steep to stay over that road. So I want to come out of this turn at 150 over the road.
1.5 miles.
And altitude has been plus or minus 100 feet, not terrible, not great. Alright, and we're just about over the road, and there is 150.
There you go.
That's not bad. Well, anyway, I'll review the footage and then I'll make my debrief assessment on that. I haven't done that exercise since like training, I don't think.
India, November
I don't think I've ever done that.
And Burlington traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel is about 5 miles to the west at 2,400 feet, inbound landing. I'll be joining straight in for the downwind, right downwind, runway 32 Burlington. So I guess I'm about to cross the departure path, so
Yeah, let's keep an eye.
I'm going to go over the field actually at this point. I'm this close.
Too close, yep.
No point in risking,
Okay,
I'll amend my call.
yeah.
And Burlington traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel, actually going to fly overhead the field to join the mid right downwind, runway 32 full stop Burlington. If I was farther away, I would have done that, but at this point, I'm crossing the departure path.
Front
So.
traffic, Aero Fox X Fox Bravo is 5 to the north, descending through 2,500, joining straight in the downwind, 32 Burlington.
So that might be a conflict, but he said 5 miles?
5 miles to the north. Well, we're only 4 miles to the north.
Are we 4? I think we're 2 now.
Oh yeah, hold on. We're less than 2.
Yeah, okay, so that's the fuel pump, the one I can't read.
Yep, that's the
Fuel
one.
pump's coming on, mags are on both, master's on, carbeat's cold, I'll check it. Haven't looked for that traffic, which I do not see. Carbeat's back to cold, primer's locked.
Traffic, Golf Victor Charlie Echo,
Brake pressure.
Super 2,300 feet, 401 at Tremaine.
So aircraft.
Inbound, I'll report
Downwind.
overhead the field at 2,000.
Oh yeah,
Burlington traffic.
did he make any calls?
I don't think so.
That's strange. So that's definitely an airplane on downwind, right?
I would say so. Probably turning base now. Okay, nothing on our left.
Burlington traffic, well, single Zulu's on a tight right base.
Yeah.
So 3-2 low and over.
Yeah, I don't see the guy that wants to join.
Well, he's 5 miles away.
Well, he's not 5 miles away anymore. That was a while ago. And Burlington traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel is overhead the field, about to join the mid right downwind, runway 32 Burlington. I do not see the traffic that's going to be joining me downwind shortly. Actually, that's him there.
Yeah, okay, we got him.
Got him. And traffic joining the downwind, I got you. We're just ahead of you, joining the mid right downwind right now for 32. I just didn't want to make that turn until I knew where he was.
Yeah.
So flying low wing does have some disadvantages, but in high wing it's the opposite problem where you can't see in the direction you're turning.
One notch.
Ultimately, I prefer low wing for fun flying and high wing for flying with passengers.
Prop is full fine. A little fast. Okay, speed is 71.
Burlington traffic, X-ray Fox Bravo
There's the
base.
sync, yeah.
Burlington.
Perfect. And Burlington traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel, short final 32.
I almost said Fox Kilo Oscar, which is the tail number for the Super Cub that I've been flying all summer. And on that note, I'm sharing this landing because there's a funny goof up related to muscle memory from tailwheel flying.
Nice.
Oops.
What was that?
That was me being ambidextrously wrong. So I'm so used to the Super Cub.
Adding power after we land.
It was such a good landing too, and then I added power, like, I was trying to keep the nose up and do everything right. You know what it was? It was my right hand instinct of stick forward after touchdown on a wheel landing.
Right.
Because pavement landing in the Super Cub, I land, and I immediately put the stick forward.
Yeah.
And Burlington traffic, Oscar Charlie tells down and clear all runways. So I have this instinct to like put my hand forward. Yeah, this is the first time I've flown this thing in a while after lots of Super Cub time.
Right.
Anyway, again, there is a part 1 to this video, which I hope you've seen. I'm not charging for this one on Patreon because I put them out back to back, but normally it's a new video every second Friday. And of course, as always, keep your flight chops sharp.
Transponder is going to standby. Time down was 1:57.
Nice, so we're not even late.
Fuel pumps off. Landing lights off.
Thank you.